The remaining regional or province to national 200 seats will be contested by independent candidates and political parties. This tier of the National Assembly will also have a dedicated ballot paper. This means that the National Assembly will be based on two ballot papers: the National Compensatory Ballot and the new introduced regional or province to national ballot paper. Therefore, in respect of the elections of the National Assembly, voters may elect a preferred party on the national ballot and elect another preferred party or independent candidate on the regional ballot. However, in respect of provincial elections, voters will elect a preferred party or independent candidate on a single provincial ballot. Now, just to give you a sense of the three different ballot papers, the National Compensatory Ballot, or the PR ballot. This ballot will consist of a list of political parties vying for seats for 200 seats in the National Assembly. This ballot will be used to vote for political parties only. There are currently 55 parties who will be on this ballot, and the configuration will be dual column. So in other words, in respect of the National Compensatory Ballot, it will be a 2-column ballot paper. Now, with respect to the regional ballot or the province to national ballot, it will have political parties and independent candidates contesting for seats reserved for each province in the National Assembly. Voters will use this ballot to elect a political party or an independent to represent them in the National Assembly. The number of contestants on these regional ballots range from 30 to 44. Gauteng has the most contestants at 44. The configuration of these ballots will be single column. Now, if we turn to provincial ballot papers, this is unique to each province and includes parties and independent candidates competing for seats in each respective provincial legislature. This ballot will allow voters to choose between a political party or an independent candidate to represent them in the provincial legislature. The number of contestants in the provincial ballot range between 27 and 45, with Gauteng having the most contestants at 45. Again, all provincial ballot papers will be single column ballots. The Commission has decided that the design of the ballot papers will be underpinned by the following identifiers: full registered name of the party, the registered abbreviated name of the party, the registered emblem or symbol of the party, the photograph of the registered party leader. In respect of independent candidates, the ballot papers will have the name of the independent candidate, the photograph bearing the face of the independent candidate, and the word independent capitalized. The Commission urges voters to carefully review and mark each of these three ballot papers before depositing them into the ballot box. Our appeal to voters is to remember that they can only put one mark on each ballot. More than one mark will result in a spoiled vote and thus cannot be counted. The universal ballot template, whose dimensions are benchmarked against the longest ballot paper, is in production and will be available at all voting stations. The universal ballot template, or the UBT in short, can be used by blind or partially sighted people, people with low vision, and people with motor and nervous conditions which do not allow for a steady hand. As we announced earlier, 95% of our logistical supplies for the elections are already at hand. We are in the process of distributing 1,873 tons of material between our different warehouses and storage facilities. In consort with the provisions of the election timetable, the Commission has also published the list of addresses of the 23,292 voting stations that will be used in these elections. The routes for mobile voting stations have also been published. There are 31 mobile voting stations across the country. The highest number of voting stations will be in KwaZulu-Natal at 4,974, the Eastern Cape 4,868, Limpopo 3,216. All voting stations are now contracted with lease agreements concluded with the landlords. Then you can find the list on our website. There's a hyperlink from your statement. Applications for special votes for purposes of home visits and voting station visits opened yesterday, the 15th of April, and will close on the 3rd of May. Home visits are intended for those voters who are unable to travel to voting stations, while special votes at voting stations are for everyone who is unable to be at the voting station on election day. Special voting will be conducted on the 2 days preceding election day, which is the 27th and 28th of May. Voting station-based special votes applications may be accessed using one of the following modalities. You can secure an application via the website elections.org.za or by SMSing your identity number to 32249, and that will be for voting station-based stations only. And you can also submit a form to the local office of the IEC. Special votes will also be administered at South Africa's diplomatic missions abroad to service 58,000 voters who have registered against the international segment of the voters' roll. These voters will be provided for at the diplomatic missions, as we indicated. The Commission invites South Africans who are registered on the local segment of the voters' roll, but who may be temporarily absent from the country, to notify it of the intended absence and the mission where such people intend to vote. Such notifications must be lodged with the Commission by 22nd April. As at today, 9,100 notifications have been approved. Special votes at diplomatic missions will take place 10 days ahead of general voting in the country on either the 17th or 18th of May, depending on the weekend configuration in the relevant country. Those traveling out of the country and between countries must take note that the period to notify the Commission relating to the mission where the person intends to vote must do so by the 22nd of April. The South African voters are reminded that they may only vote at the voting station in which they are registered. That is a general principle in election administrations. In election administration. However, voters who will inevitably be away from their voting districts on election day may give notice of their intention to vote at another identified voting district on or before the 17th of May 2024. So the Section 24A vote is no longer available absent notification to the Commission. That facility may be accessed with prior notification to the Commission, and such notification must be lodged with the Commission by the 17th of May 2024. Thank you very much, Kate.
Thank you so much, CEO, for your very detailed update.